It's now the battle of the billionaires. Governor Rauner just wrapped up his victory speech here at his headquarters in Chicago. Well, people said that this could be a tight race, and it definitely is shaping up to be. This is a real nail-biter. Now, Betsy Durst-Londgren had a nice lead when votes started coming in, but Congressman Davis is slowly chipping away. This happened yesterday in the dark, so people are just now getting a look at the damage. Over here, you can see there is a roof missing here. I was told that roof is actually on its neighbor's roof right now. Yeah, and you haven't lost any energy. You've been busting out some dance moves out here. You want to show the people how you're getting these donations? Awesome. He's been breaking out the dance moves all day long, and it's been working. Here in Taylorville, fragments of people's literal lives, like these Christmas decorations, can be seen scattered in piles like this one all over the city. Almost all of those 7 priests identified in this report had at one point in their career worked in the Chicago area. First budget meeting wrapped up about an hour ago, and now lawmakers, after a brief caucus, are trickling back inside of the chamber where we're expected to see them vote on this budget. Obviously, President Trump just a few days ago announced a $12 billion bailout plan, but farmers aren't happy with it. They say it doesn't address the deeper-rooted issues. So just to put that in perspective, for a family of 2, you now need to make $30,000 or less to be eligible for child care assistance. For a family of 3, that's $37,000, and the threshold for a family of 4 is $45,000. I talked to an attorney this afternoon about this report. She says it comes down to one question: did J.B. Pritzker intentionally lie to the county? She definitely didn't have that tone when she first hopped into this race in the primaries. In her advertisement, she was the anti-Trump candidate, and now it seems like she's trying to take a different tone. I definitely open up the floodgates for people able to access marijuana here in the state of Illinois, so it's going to do a lot for the industry. He had, how many opponents? He still had 575,000 votes. Rauner had one other person he was running it, and he only had 360,000. I think that just speaks volumes as to how much ground he's going to have to make up. People around here tell me they started coming to the library not just for the obvious shelter that it provides, but to feel safe. Unlike most buildings downtown, the library has 24-hour surveillance on every corner of the building.
We're here today to celebrate a great victory.
For the first time since taking office, President Trump touched down in the land of Lincoln to talk trade policy and jobs.
In the midst of this great economic revival, now is the time to finally fix the terrible, one-sided, unfair trade deals and practices that have cost our nation trillions of dollars and millions of jobs.
He received a warm welcome from workers at Granite City's U.S. Steel factory. Thanks to the president's tariffs on steel and aluminum imports, they're hiring roughly 800 people after years of layoffs.
The support of the president has been just amazing.
Business is coming back up that went down when we got laid off.
The president blames bad trade policy with China and U.S. allies for America's shrinking manufacturing market.
For decades, the United States was the piggy bank that everybody was robbing. We were the big, dumb piggy bank.
His visit to the plant was a sweet spot during his Midwest tour, but lying in the backdrop, the fate of farmers. Thousands of soybean and pork farmers are seeing their prices plummet as the trade war with China intensifies. Trump told the crowd Thursday he just struck a deal with the EU to bring them relief.
We will not let anybody bully our wonderful American farmers. We are going to stick together and win for our farmers.
Though Governor Rauner was a no-show, Congressman Ronnie Davis was one of 3 D.C. Republicans to attend the event. He says Trump's words make him optimistic.
I think a lot of our farmers that I represent that actually have a lot invested in the Trump administration because they voted for him, they want to see more EU results. And I think they're going to see that after listening to the president's speech.
Reporting in Granite City, Raquel Martin, back to you.
It's just like nightmares you wake up out of.
Thousands of people woke up Sunday morning to a sight they never thought they'd see.
First things, come out and start looking.
Entire neighborhoods in the city of Taylorville now barely recognizable after a tornado strikes.
Can't believe how much is destroyed. Finding stuff that wasn't in our yards, it's from somebody else's.
It was a sunrise many will never forget.
We've had stores, but nothing like this. Nothing ever like this.
Lot after lot. Roofs gone. Entire homes stripped open or crushed by fallen trees. Just to show how strong these winds are, take a look at this tree. It's literally snapped in half, and part of it is on top of the roof. Some trees uprooted. Francis Brownfield grew up on this block. He remembers climbing this one as a child.
It just shocks you. Those old trees that we thought they would never fall.
But there's little time to sit and mourn. Piece by piece, people are rolling up their sleeves and picking themselves up. Congressman Davis, who's called this home since he was a child, is another willing volunteer.
This is my community. This is what we do when you see friends and neighbors that need help.
He's one of the lucky ones whose home escaped the harsh winds. But dozens, like Brandon Lawrence, not so much.
Honestly, I don't know what emotion to feel right now.
He moved his family into their first new home hours before the twister came. This isn't the welcome he was hoping for.
3.5-car detached garage out back. It's completely gone.
Still looking at the wreckage, he and many around are counting their blessings, grateful they survived to see the sunrise, even in what feels like the darkest of hours.
The youngest, most effective lobbyist in Illinois history.
Wow. It's not every day a 10-year-old changes the law, but Wednesday, Hunter Martin proved he's not your average fifth grader.
I just thought he was signing like legal forms. And right after he signed it, shook my hand and all that, my mom's like, you know, he just signed the bill. I'm like, what? I'm like, oh my, thank you.
In a private ceremony Wednesday, Governor Rauner signed Hunter's bill. Now all insurance companies in Illinois must cover hearing aids for kids.
They're gonna like have the chance to have hearing aids and like be able to hear like a normal kid.
How does that make you feel?
Awesome.
For the past 3 years, Hunter and his family have advocated for the change because Hunter and his younger brother have a hearing loss birth defect.
It's like having cotton balls in your ears and everybody's just talking to you quieter. You can't hear like whispering or birds chirping or water dripping.
Luckily, he's had his hearing aids, but he says the most difficult 2 weeks of his life were when he lost them.
When I got home, I was very tired because I had to strain to listen. It gave me a headache, and I just like, come on, why can't I just be able to hear better?
That experience, plus the cost of a replacement, gave his family a reason to take action.
For the insurance companies not to cover it, we couldn't imagine, especially with all the other medication and surgeries and procedures which they cover, and for them to say that this was cosmetic and not needed, it blew our minds.
They met with lawmakers and health professionals to share Hunter's story. His dad says he couldn't be more proud.
I don't know how many 10-year-olds, myself included, could do all the things he's done.
For Hunter, it's all in a day's work. This is just the beginning.
I want to be president, I want to be in the FBI, I want to be SWAT, and I want to be in the Army, in the Secret Service.
Okay, that's a long list.
It'll get done.
Yeah,